Hey, welcome back to Dave's Post-Apocalyptic World on our daily discussions on entropy. I'm David. This is my co-host, Little Princess. And in today's Jesus Calling, October 8th, once again, the reading was just so uncannily what we've been discussing about entropy. And I've had some good feedback and questions from the previous video, so I think we'll keep going. This is a nice way for us to discover entropy together. And I'm writing this book, so this is good for my notes, trying to organize and maybe communicate and get feedback on some of the sticking points of what we're discussing. So in today's episode, we're going to touch on love.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
Thank you, Forrest, because they mentioned it twice in the very first sentence that we're reading today. So we all have thoughts and emotions and feelings about what love is, right? It's affection and strong attraction towards people and pets that we love, and sometimes our higher power or our gods. Let's take a look at exactly what an official definition of love is. You can read along with me. Love, a strong feeling of attraction and concern towards another person as that arising from kinship or close friendship. A strong feeling of affection and concern for another person accompanied by sexual attraction. A feeling of devotion or adoration toward God or a God, lowercase. But what does that all mean in terms of entropy? Well, I'm glad you asked. In short, it contributes to our optimally dissipative configuration as living things and humans as it relates to our survival and reproduction. All right, so that was a mouthful. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's take a look at the entropic model of the universe that I'm currently working on. So it starts out with a Big Bang from which billions of galaxies emerge as the universe dissipates. Those galaxies have nebulae that give birth to stars, and some of these stars give birth to planets. And on some of these planets are something we call life. And just by definition, the way and the reason this life forms is that it increases the entropy of that system. So we're actually helping break down the planet, right? All the original cyanobacteria or terraformers. We're here to execute the next stage of the life of our planet, from which higher level or more complex organisms are able to further dissipate the entropy of our solar system moving forward. And with these living organisms, it turns out that the better they're able to form groups and have affection for each other and support each other and have love and support one another, we're able to form larger and more powerful groups. And by definition, that group which is strongest and best able to survive and reproduce is the one that wins or outperforms the others. It's nothing personal, that's just the way it is. And so about 10,000 years ago, or probably longer, depending on which definition you look at, humans start to form these civilizations, these very elaborate religions and cohesive groups. We'll get much deeper in the subject of love in the future, I imagine, but for today's short video, I was looking for the fact that there's a connection between love and entropy. So entropy and the universe doesn't leave it to chance that we're going to either survive or reproduce. It's going to happen. We didn't have to read any manual on it. Living things have been doing it forever. It's going to get done. And those living things that are able to get it done the best are the ones that are going to survive, just by definition. So let's get into today's reading and see if anything we've talked about applies to it. This is Jesus Calling, October 8th. I love you with an everlasting love. The human mind cannot comprehend my constancy. Your emotions flicker and falter in the face of varying circumstances, and you tend to project your fickle feelings onto me. Thus, you do not benefit fully from my unfailing love. So I'm hearing entropy, and the fact that if I'm disconnected from this higher power, this entropy, this force of the universe, and I'm too deep into my daily problems and emotions and loves, whether it's humans or my ego or things that I think I need that are going to make me happy, that is the way to unhappiness and unfulfillment. That doesn't have to be an entropy thing. I think any religion or spirituality will tell us the same thing. So that last line in the first paragraph, thus you do not benefit fully from my unfailing love, this connection to the higher power, to the entropy. If I lose sight of all that and think that everything that my life is about centers around me, guess what? Unfulfillment, loneliness, unhappiness, misery. And we're trying to find the opposite of that. Moving right along, you need to look beyond the flux of circumstances and discover me gazing lovingly back at you. This awareness of my presence strengthens you as you receive and respond to my love. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Talk about entropy. Let my love flow into you continually. Your need for me is as constant as the outflow of my love to you. I think there's a lot of good stuff to reflect on here, and at the end it refers to Jeremiah 31:3, Exodus 15:13, and Hebrews 13:8. So let's field the question from our previous video, Entropy, Life, and Chess. Nick W. writes, I'm starting to appreciate the importance of dissipation in entropy, but I'm still having trouble with order/disorder. Seems to me that after the Big Bang, for instance, the universe doesn't become less ordered, but differently ordered. The order is more dissipated and complex, but it isn't chaos, which I think many people equate with disorder. Any thoughts? Many thoughts, yes. The first thing I'm thinking of is if we're looking at the scale of the universe and we can see and feel that over trillions of years there will be nothing, or just about nothing. It'll be like if you put a drop of dye in a fish tank of clear water, we can intuitively know that that's going to dissipate and end up in a configuration that it's not perfectly clear. It's going to be greenish if the dye is green, and that would be the most disordered state or highest entropy or equilibrium. When we first put the drop of dye in the tank, it is the most ordered, lowest entropy, and non-equilibrium. So this flow of the universe is what we mean by more disorder. We're very young in the universe right now, only 14 billion years, let's say. So there's a lot of order still, which is what we see in the galaxies. And I don't know if that brought forth more confusion, but we're all kind of working through what we mean by entropy and order disorder. I appreciate the questions, and I will continue this path because people seem to like it. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see. I love your comments, and we will see you next time on Dave's Post-Apocalyptic World.